Wanted to show you a few things about how to read syringes. This is an actual picture of a 1 milliliter syringe, and this is just an illustration. This is something you might see in one of my exams. I don't tend to use the actual picture. But the difference here is on the picture of the actual syringe, see this line right here? This is a calibration line. When you are deciding how much to fill this syringe to get the amount of liquid you need, the volume of medication that you need, you don't count this line, okay? That is your calibration line. Now, when you keep moving forward, this is a 1 ml syringe. Look at all of the calibration lines. This, see how this says 0.1? That means, well, it doesn't actually have the 0 written on it, but remember, we should always write with a leading 0, 0.1 mLs. That means that this line right here is 1/10 of an ml. Okay, same thing as over here. This is 1/10 of an ml. Pretend there's little zeros in front of all of them. And each one of these lines, see how there's 10 of them, not including the calibration line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. That means each one of these lines is 1/100th of an ml. So this syringe, a 1 ml syringe, also sometimes called a tuberculin syringe, these can give you very specific amounts of medication. So if we are told that our patient is to receive 0.67 mLs of a medication, I can look at the syringe, I can go up to the 0.6 and then keep going. This is 0.65, this is 0.66, this is 0.67. So this is where I would fill my syringe to. And on homework questions, I don't need you to shade in the whole syringe. I just want you to make a simple little line, just like this, to show me that you know where to fill that syringe to. Don't worry if you can't draw straight. It's okay. As you can see, neither can I. You don't have to go through and shade all this in. Some people do, but you don't need to. This is the only line that I am concerned with. Okay, so these syringes, as I said, are calibrated by hundredths. I can give 0.01 mLs in this syringe. Let's take a look at the next size up. We've got a 3 ml syringe. These calibration lines are very different. Okay, so here is that calibration line, the first one that you do not count. Okay, they actually have one on this illustrated syringe as well. Because what happens is when you have a needle attached to a syringe, some of the medication stays in that hypodermic needle. So that's why this little bit of medication doesn't really count, because it doesn't actually reach the patient. It stays in here, in the hypodermic needle. So let's take a look at these lines. We've got 1 ml right here, okay? So how many lines are there? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. But this is 1 ml. So this is 1/10 of an ml. Each one of these lines is 1/10 of an ml. So the smallest amount of medication I can give is 0.1 mLs on here. When you were looking here, that's an ml. When we looked up here, there were 10 lines, but this one was already only 1/10 of an ml. That's why 10 of these, it would be, each one of these is 100th, and then each one of these is 1/10. Okay, see how syringes are calibrated differently because they handle different volumes of medication or liquid, not always medication. Let's take a look at one more size here. This is a 12 ml syringe. When you're looking at this, each one of these lines, see, here's a 1 ml right here. How many lines do we have? That's our calibration line. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if you take 1 and divide by 5, you end up with 0.2. So in this syringe, the smallest part of an ml that I can give is 0.2 mLs. This becomes very important when you are deciding how to round your answers. So if I'm giving under 1 ml of medication, I can round my answer to the nearest hundredth. But if I'm giving over 1 ml, I'm going to round my answer to the nearest tenth, because I cannot, in this syringe, give 1/100th of an ml. And in this syringe, it is 2/10 of an ml is the smallest I can go.